Go. Hello, and welcome to the Paranormal Task Force Operation Podcast. This is episode 6, is it not, Greg?
I believe so.
All right, how about that? We made it 6 whole episodes, and I didn't miss a week. And we have a guest tonight, special guest. I didn't even bother doing the whole bring him in later thing because he's core PTF. Danny Brumley. Say hello,
hey, everybody.
Danny. There you go. I have a demon in my camera. I'm not supposed to talk about it because Greg won't let me, but there is one in there, and it's going to cause my focus to go in and out the entirety of this podcast probably. So have fun with that. Okay, I'm going to switch you around. Danny, you want to tell us a little bit about yourself? This is a spotlight on you, Danny. It's your night.
Spotlight on me.
So tell us just your origin story.
Origin. Grew up mid-Missouri, farm kid. About like any other person, got married, had kids. Never gave a second thought really about paranormal. It wasn't a thing back in the day. It wasn't talked about. If you talked about it, you was a little weird, a little bit off, at least in the circles I ran. And then fast forward, we moved to the St. Louis area. Friend of mine said, "Hey, you want to go on a ghost hunt?" I'm like, "Dude, what?" I mean, he knew I'm an avid hunter, a great outdoorsman. I enjoy hunting just about every game animal that I can. And he's like, "I know you're a big hunter. Let's go check this out." And so that was my first time being introduced to Greg and PTF. And it was at Tri-County Truck Stop, and I had a ball. I mean, it was active. It was great. I liked all the people, and I was pretty much hooked, and have been with PTF ever since.
Yeah, that seems to be the way most of the origin stories for PTF members ends is like Greg assimilated me, and well, it's just kind of ever since.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just so easy. The abduction just happens.
Just happens, right? It's kind of like a frog in the water, and as it boils, the frog doesn't know it's being cooked.
And I think you had some experience.
You don't actually realize you're becoming a member of PTF until it's like all of a sudden you are one day.
Yeah, you just have to show up from that point on.
Yeah, and that's the way of life. You got to go to a whole class with Greg, and he teaches you a lot of weird, like stretches and stuff.
It's like a cult.
I didn't say that. Did I say that? I didn't say that.
And some drink the Kool-Aid, and some don't.
Hey, that's some good ass Kool-Aid. I'm just gonna say it.
Not bad.
That's good. Greg, you have known Danny for how long?
Oh, God, since 2013. So that's 12 years.
Yeah.
12 years. That's a good long time.
A decade.
Usually, by then if somebody's going to piss you off bad enough to where you're just going to like ditch them.
Yeah. Yeah, for
It's like,
sure.
I've known you for 12 years and I ain't got rid of you yet. I'm probably going to keep you around for a while.
Yeah, Danny's a keeper.
You're always nervous though. Those first 2 investigations, you're just waiting. You're picking up equipment and waiting for the lights to just die. You're just gonna be there in the dark. Nobody left around, nothing but crickets. But never happened.
Yeah. So, Greg, you have had a lot of experiences at the Tri-County Truck Stop as well. And that's where Danny, was that the first place you said you investigated, or?
Yeah, that was the very first event, and first place I had ever investigated.
And it was an event with PTF, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Right. So have you guys, now I've been to Tri-County Truck Stop once, and then it was closed down after that, right?
Yeah.
Right. A private individual bought it from who we used to do the events for, and they're turning it into like a office for their construction company and a storage area, outside with the barbed wire fencing that they put in. And then the tornado hit it earlier this year and took out part of the bricks on the back side of it, but not sure what the state of it is at this time.
Right. Well, that was a cool place, for sure. Yeah, I only got to go there once. But y'all been there lots of times, right?
Oh yeah, I've been there. I couldn't even tell you how many times. We went quite a bit.
So have you and Greg actually had any experiences that you both saw at the same time that happened to you there that stand out to you?
Yeah, honestly, the one that got me hooked, Greg, was, I know you were down there, I think, running a parabolic mic down in the basement. And that was the time the little girl and the whole Jesus Christ.
Oh, okay.
That was my very first investigation there.
Oh, really? That was the first one, and that was
the
like
very
the
first one, and it was just it was crazy. I'm a Catholic guy, was raised Catholic, so actually the guy that invited me is also Catholic, and he's like, hey, I carry a rosary, you might. So I had my rosary that night, had it on my neck, and things just started. It was late in the night. I mean, it was probably midnight or after. There was a lot of attendees gone, but we was all down in the basement, and I didn't know exactly what was going on because the basement's so large and several people were having experiences. But I do remember it sounded like a lady's voice whispered Jesus Christ, but it was so loud the entire basement heard it.
Oh, wow.
At that very time, I don't know if it startled me and I pulled on my rosary or what, but my rosary broke and fell off my neck. And so I'm sitting there fumbling with that, and everyone's talking about it, and I'm like, it's just really weird. The exact same.
So something had enough strength, in your opinion, to have broken like a physical object, and it would take some energy, right?
It would, but Katie, it was really odd. I did not feel. I mean, I didn't feel a tug. I didn't feel a jerk. Nothing like that. It's like I just felt my rosary release from my neck.
So it's almost like, well, that's almost even requires even more energy, because that would be like it had the dexterity, like the ability to manipulate things, material, matter, the same way we do with our fingers, but you can't see it. So it had to be things like that. In my opinion, are very strong entities. We'll call them that, because I don't know if they're human. I don't know if they're demons, angels, whatever they are. It's a stronger variety of being, if that makes sense.
Yeah, there it has the power to throw a big rusty butcher knife at people.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, yeah, that's what I'm saying. That takes a lot of energy, doesn't it? So, like, in my opinion, because if all hauntings, right, if all spirits, just if that ability was common, you would see a lot more in hauntings, right? You see like a lot more prolific, like poltergeist like activity, and that's rare to actually see that type of activity.
Well, the thing to me after a few years of doing it, the thing that stands out to me, like Tri-County Truck Stop's probably one of my favorite locations. It was off the grid. It wasn't well known about, but it did have the wow factor, and it seemed like it showed out for new attendees. I mean,
Right.
I've seen it more often than not. If you have new attendees, we would have big things happen. If it was the same old group or just us investigating on our own, we would actually experience things, but nothing crazy like some of the stuff that happened with new attendees and non-believers. That's another thing. You would not believe some of the things that happened when someone was literally stating that they were a non-believer, that this was a hoax or this was crazy.
So
Yeah.
I was just going through the comments over here, just real quick. Just hello to everybody in the chat. Thanks for watching. If you like what you see here, make sure you like, share, and subscribe on YouTube, and make sure you like and follow on Facebook. And also, I'm going to go back. I scrolled through and put up all the comments a minute ago, but I'm going to go back to this question from Kim Libby, one of our faithful PTF Army followers. She says, "Why do you think the truck stop was haunted? What's its story?" So, what's the horror story that created the haunted Tri-County truck stop?
Greg, you know the history.
What's y'all's best like prognosis of how the haunting started, I guess?
Me myself, from what I know, and hearing the stories and actually reading the books about the place, it was a marvelous thing in its heyday. I mean, it was a resort. It was probably one of the first resorts along 44. Well, it was Route 66 back then, but it was a marvelous place in its heyday. But I think as everything progressed and things started building up farther towards Lake of the Ozarks and different place, it kind of fell into a 24-hour truck stop type place where, from what I've heard, they would sell rooms by the minute or by the half hour, and seedy
Right.
things was going on, a lot of deaths, a lot of overdoses, things like that. So in my opinion, that's a lot of what fed into what was going on.
So
Greg,
you
what do
think
you think?
Right.
So you think it was like? Okay, go ahead, Greg. Sorry.
No, I was saying I support that. Yeah, you had a lot of that hardcore, dirty element, scenario when it became a truck stop. But going back before that, you did have deaths inside there, like a few, and then you did have deaths right outside its door.
True. And that's one of the places when the place opened, the owner, it was like a fruit stand, and it just kind of grew and grew and grew. And when they actually had a building and the place opened, the owner literally threw the keys away and says it's open 24 hours, it'll never close. And back in the day, that was probably not happening. So if you were going anywhere in the dark of the night to need anything, it would have been Tri-County Truck Stop if you were anywhere close to that area. So,
Well, it was called the Diamonds for a long time before that.
But so yeah.
So what was it before it was a truck stop? Did it have any history prior to it being a truck stop?
It was the largest roadside restaurant in the United States for a while.
Just a restaurant
on Route 66, right? Plus, they sold other things.
I like to go back as far as possible, like as far as you can, and sometimes it's hard to because you always know, okay, it was a restaurant before it was this, but I'll bet it was even something else before it was a restaurant.
Right. It started off as a fruit stand, a banana stand, what was called.
So there was nothing there before that.
It was vacant land, but then we don't know the Native American. That's what you're getting at here. I don't know the specific.
My question, just usually it seems like in most cases I've ran into like buildings are dozed down so many times, and then places are completely unrecognizable as to what they are now compared to back in the day. Like, for example, down right on the street in front of our house here, it used to be nothing but like a farm out here at one point, but then there was a drive-in movie theater right down here at the intersection, and you would never know that. I mean, it looks like like that would have never. It just doesn't look like it would ever go there. But apparently, there was a whole ass drive-in movie, and that's just nuts to think about, But I'm saying. But after that, it was like a gas station. And then after that, they tore the gas station down. And then there was an apartment building. And then they tore that down. And now there's another apartment building and a strip mall and then a McDonald's. And so it's like there's the properties just overturned so many times.
Yeah. I believe
hauntings.
Just looking at the history, I mean, there's actually a book about it. I believe that it was orchard ground, like it was actually a fruit orchards there, so and they did a fruit stand, and it went 66 went right by it, and that's where it evolved into a gas tire station, and then beyond. I mean, it was at one point a resort. I mean, it had a pool, it had cottages or places to stay, and
like a little outdoor, like a motel. That's a motel, right? Where you pull it out to the outside, yeah.
When I look, I see it as like the Rail Haven where we stay, only a really big restaurant and the Rail Haven with a pool.
I think, yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking of too. I think it's cool that y'all went all the way back to the inception of when it actually became a building. Like because a lot of times, there's no way to find out like what it was before a certain time. Before like it was this building. 50 years ago, but that was after they bulldozed down another building. They built another building there, and it's hard to go all the way back and find out like when it was fresh, undeveloped. So, anyways, so anything else y'all want to talk about with the truck stop? I know Factor
faked.
Factor fake. They went out there, the episode out there, right? Yeah. So I worked with Ben and I worked with Austin. So because Austin was the producer of Ghost of Morgan City, he was one of the producers. So, Austin was the blonde-headed guy on Fact or Fate, right?
Right, and he's the one.
A guy named Austin, and then Ben Hansen. He's cool. I got to know him pretty good. And I did some more stuff for him. I like to do the stuff for people and just send it to them and let them use it. I like to build things for them. So Ben will contact me and we'll video chat because he wants to explain to me what he's looking for, and it's usually pretty interesting or like really weird requests. And so last time we did a video chat and he was explaining to me what he needed. So he pops in on the video, and there was a guy, I can't remember his name, but I see he was in all of the on the Discovery Channel. They used to have a show called What on Earth, I think. What on Earth, and it was like
rings a bell.
Yeah, and it was satellite images of weird stuff, and they had to figure it out, right? And so they would have different people on there talking about what it could be, this, that, or the other. And he was one of those people on the show. He was like a staple guy on the show. And I was like, that's where I knew you from, dude. But anyway, Ben Hansen, he's pretty legit. I've seen him. And I say that because like, I saw him talking to a producer one time and telling them that if he thought that they were trying to trick him somehow, that he wouldn't work with them again. And that's legit. That's based as hell. That's like, I was like, hell yeah, dude. That's what's up. That's, so I always felt that Ben had that. He sold me on the credibility when I heard him say that. And he's a really good dude too. And he doesn't like to curse. So he says, you guys try not to curse. I'm like, yes, I'll try, Ben. I'm like, fuck this, fuck that. What the fuck was that? But anyway, so Ben, and what was Ben's conclusion on Tri-County? It wasn't Ben, it was Austin. So what was Austin?
Austin.
Yeah, so what was Austin's conclusion?
That the conclusion of that was definitely haunted. they try to, debunk things, which the blue ghosts in the basement, they came up with that theory of using like an old theater days, a couple of mirrors and glass, but that wasn't the same. And what was odd is they were in the basement also, investigating, and what looked like, I slowed down, the clip of it. It looked like a big metal washer, used down in the basement, on something, got thrown at them while they were investigating.
Oh, wow. Yeah, see, that something like that, that's a lot of energy to throw something, right? I've watched Ghost. I know how this works, right? You have to focus really hard. And, that's how he ends up being able to hit the can. You remember? Whoopi Goldberg is a joke.
Yeah.
Nobody laughed. Hey, Greg, you want to make pottery together later?
Yeah, if you want to, sure. I haven't done that in a long time.
Well, I'm trying to look up some pictures of Tri-County trucks. I guess I could just go on the Facebook page, kind of. Let's see here.
Yeah,
because they put all the pictures in there like really small resolution and it's crap. I hate it. Wow. I'm just gonna go on the Facebook page anyway. So, Danny.
Yes, sir.
You gave me a list of things that I requested from you. I appreciate it. To talk to you about. And I have that list somewhere. Here we go.
Somewhere.
I have it. So this was going to be my next question anyway. I just wanted to make sure it was actually in there, and it was. So what would you say your specialty is in the paranormal field? What
specialty?
Like, yeah, yeah, specialty. It's specialty. You could be. What is your area of expertise? We all have a focus. You could call it a focus if you want.
A focus. I call it. I mean, I enjoy the way that I investigate are my most favorite that I enjoy. Of course, I've investigated through the times with PTF in a lot of different ways. I'm always open to any suggestion. But what I like to do, and what I've had a lot of attendees and a lot of success doing with some attendees in certain events, is I kind of use my hunting skills. I lean away from a lot of equipment. I like to blend in with the background when there's a lot of activity as far as other people. And I also use other people as bird dogs, you might say, to help me experience and help attendees experience things. So an example of that would be, say you're at Pythian in the basement. I get to a location where I can see the most area in the basement, so I can look all the way down the hall into the other end of the basement. And then we sit there very still, very quiet in the dark with no lights and no equipment on, just the ambient glow. And then we wait for other attendees to go into the other rooms and literally chase or move things out of certain areas to where we can catch a glimpse of them going into other areas. And it works really well, or has worked really well.
So developing experiments seems to be your forte. Like, I want to
absolutely.
I want to set up I want to see what happens if I do this series of things, and I do it in a certain way.
Exactly, and I use equipment the same way, Katie. I think of, maybe look at blueprints the way the building would have been back in the time. Maybe it's not, like you hit on the fact, maybe it's not the same blueprint of the building that you're investigating, and they're having activity going on for some particular reason where things are going through walls or through floors, or if you look back at blueprints from the previous time, if there are any available, a lot of times that kind of explains
far between.
why things are moving in certain directions and how you should position equipment in order to catch activity. So that's my biggest thing. I just like to research the history and try to get in the head of whatever's going on there and focus on how to capture it.
Yeah. Capturing it that's a lot of people. It's like you want to capture it. That seems like the focus for so long, and then it turns into, I think, the fact that we're trying so hard to capture it makes it less likely for us to actually capture it. You know, it's
For sure.
Yeah. I used to be real capture focused. Like I wanted to prove things. I wanted to and I still do document it as much as possible. But I think my focus is on personal experience and like other people, like what they're, if I can give them a personal experience, like with the helmet, something like that.
Bingo. I think, at least from what I've seen, no matter what you capture, it's going to be argued.
Right.
You can have the holy grail of a video or a picture, and it's going to be called a fake, whatnot. I don't focus on that at all. My biggest thing now is having somebody who's never experienced anything, seeing the look on their face when they do experience it, and that's golden to me.
Yeah. Just changing the way their brain fire or operates. Like they just had realized something that, things can be, things aren't always what they seem, or sometimes the things that we've always been taught are a certain way aren't a certain way. Anyway, what were you going to say, Greg?
I was saying that's my favorite moment in the paranormal too, is when you take a pure skeptic out and they have that experience that gives them the wow factor that shatters their belief system.
Yeah.
And they have to rethink it and put it back together.
But I've also,
exactly. Yeah.
To feed off that, I've also found out, at least in my experience, the more you're exposed, I guess is the word to use, the more you're exposed to activity in certain places or in all places through investigation.
Some places you get in trouble if you expose yourself.
Not that kind of exposure. It kind of desensitizes you to things that you would have found mind-boggling previously. It's like you see shadows that shouldn't be there. You see shadow figures, this and that, and you're kind of desensitized to that anymore. And it's not as dynamic. It's almost like a drug. Once you've had that next step, you want the bigger step, and you want the bigger step, and then it's pretty wild.
I'm so desensitized too after doing it for so long. It just takes something to make that wow factor anymore. I'm still waiting for my ceiling ride. That's what I've always joked about from the beginning. I never got that yet.
I got a floor ride at Tri-County.
That's right.
I got a floor ride.
In the bathroom, wasn't it?
Yeah, in the women's bathroom. This story is gonna start out, and it's gonna sound really bad, but in the women's bathroom, that's the area that whenever we had other investigators come and do things, investigate, that's where everyone would go and just hang out because nothing ever happened in there, and we were doing.
Defeats the purpose. Let's go on a ghost hunt.
I mean, that's where
this place.
Yeah, that's where the crew would hang out to not be in the way of investigators. Whenever people are in the building, because it's like no one wants to investigate it. We've never caught anything.
They don't even need. I hate it when they do that, man. I hate it when they do that in shows. I hate that.
So we had an event going on, and there was two elderly ladies in a group. We would run groups through. We'd bust them into 3 groups, and there was a couple elderly ladies that had wandered into the bathroom, and I could hear their meters, and I was talking to other attendees about things, and they hollered out the door, and they asked if I would come in there and tell me what it meant. And whenever I walked right inside the door, at the truck stop, it's those old bathrooms that have the really heavy wood doors. They're like super heavy and they're on closers. But this happened to have a big concrete can sitting in front of it, propping it open. I get right inside the door and I visually saw a red streak come from one of their ghost meters and just shoot up towards the ceiling. And I'm like, wow, that's I just saw a freaking streak with my eyes. And
Like some
about that
energy.
time, that heavy door, we heard a rustle, something pushed on the back of my neck, put me on the floor, and that door slammed shut. And then women freaked out. I mean, like bawling, screaming. It was very loud. I was very scared.
So dealing with this place that obviously has a very powerful haunting, right? Like it's what I would describe as like a strong haunting, because when things have the ability to move things or throw things at you, or make super loud noises, not just make the noise, but move, like break something and make loud noises. That's a lot of energy, or that's a lot of ability that whatever it is has.
Yeah.
And I tend to think it's something maybe on the not so nice level, like, I hate to say it, Greg, demonic. Even and that being said, that place would actually be the perfect breeding ground for a demonic haunting, because like you said, it had turned into a drug den, basically. You could rent rooms, and the people were in there shooting up. It was so that attracts evil, right? That would, if there are demons out there, then I'd say that things that destroy us as humans, they want to be there to root you on towards your demise, right? And so a place like that is going to attract demonic things, like cemeteries, right? Like I have a feeling that a lot of cemeteries are haunted by demons more than they would be by a human spirit, because why in the hell would a spirit be in the cemetery? They didn't die there. It didn't happen there, but the sorrow and the grief and sadness that is always at a cemetery, because there's always a funeral going on, that's going to attract things, right? But anyway, so that being said, Alton McClure says, have you guys ever had a spirit follow you or stick with you for a period of time from a place you investigated, like a strong haunting? I would assume like Tri-County Truck Stop would be a good candidate for that to happen.
Yeah.
I actually did, not from Tri-County. It started back in 2005 when I was out of the military and started into the paranormal stuff around here. I got tossed into a haunting in Union, Missouri that was called the Screaming House, and that was on, I forget what show, what they titled it, but something from there did eventually follow me home. And this is going to sound crazy. It was actually in my bedroom, and my curtains were moving with like the face and hands behind it. And I walked towards it, and then there was like someone with a big sheet of plexiglass hit me full force, and I actually went tumbling backwards onto the bed and even flipped in the bed.
That's crazy, dude.
That's crazy. At this point in time, Greg, how many Ouija boards did you have under the bed?
At that time, I wasn't really collecting them.
Okay.
Well, you know what? I've got a lot of Greg's Ouija boards, and I have a whole bunch of my own. I'd never have I don't know. Katie's got a bunch of weird dolls that I think would worry me more than the Ouija boards. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
But I don't think dolls get haunted. I'm not scared of dolls. They're just weird looking. Like if there is something, I don't think dolls are haunted. I think something might hang around a doll because of the attention that the doll gets. It's like bait.
Well, true, and just like your graveyard or your cemetery synopsis, why would something attach itself to a Ouija board when it can attach itself to the person that's using the Ouija board? I mean, that's the
I think,
ultimate goal. Why would it
that's the
be
ultimate
hooked to a
goal,
board?
yeah. I think it's the intent to communicate with something that putting that out there. That is a dangerous thing to do, and I don't recommend it to people who aren't committed. I reckon because, but I look at it like kind of like every job has occupational hazards, and in my opinion, being a paranormal investigator and doing what I do, which is ITC, which is basically necromancy at the end of the day. Let's call it what it is. It's techno occultism. We're doing occult like we're basically using technology in place of the occult to communicate with spirits and whatever else is beyond. And
Well,
I guess we can call it whatever we want, but that's kind of the
that's deep.
Yeah.
That's deep, man.
I mean, that's just the way I look at it, you know. Like, I was because I was reading something about necromancy, and it was like back during the 15th century or something like that, and they were like burning necromancers at the stake, like just burning them alive for being necromancer. And but back then they were still trying to communicate with the dead, but they called them I think necromancer. Before that they called them something. It was an Italian word. I can't remember what it was, or what the actual word was, but it meant ventriloquist.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, because they would. I think they were channeling. I think a lot of like esoteric necromancy involved channeling, and they would, you know, let this whatever they were communicating with spirits, whatever type of being it was, let them channel through them, and instead of for example, instead of letting a spirit channel itself through me and Whoopi Goldberg in it, you know, I use technology. So I build a radio, and I'm making a special type of radio. It's not just a radio, but it does use radio signals. And so I'm just doing the same thing, but with more modern technology.
But like Ouija boards, if you're actually touching it while you're using it to communicate, you could be opening yourself up. And some of your devices, you got the neat little antenna thing you touch and stuff.
Yeah,
that could open somebody up too.
Yeah, that's the point.
Yeah.
I mean, well, as a paranormal investigator, I want to experience the paranormal.
Right.
I'm not going to do things that would prevent me from experiencing it. I will do things that will increase the odds that I will have an experience. So I make things that, that could pump up the energy in the room and give it a better opportunity to interact with us, maybe, or make the helmet and then rearrange your synapses, your firing synapses in your brain in a way that maybe you can see things similar to the way like a psychic medium might see them, you know. But regardless, it's high-tech necromancy.
And it's cool.
Yeah, thank you. I don't know if I'm the first person to say that, but I definitely I haven't heard anybody else explain it that way, but I definitely feel that way.
Yeah, that's a very cool explanation. I've never heard that.
Yeah.
Never even thought down that realm or that way of thinking, but it's a very neat way to explain it.
I've been reading a lot about Aleister Crowley. I think he gets a bad rep a lot of times. He developed what we know of as the occult. I mean, pre Aleister Crowley, there was no like occultism. You know, there was no there was nothing before he started the what was it, Temple of Set, and he took a bunch of like mystic, esoteric rituals and information and knowledge and stuff from various cultures from around the world. A lot of stuff from like Jewish mysticism and the Kabbalah and you know, the Book of Enoch. And he actually, people think he was like a Satanist or whatever, but he was, if you ask me, his focus was on King Solomon and Solomonic magic. And King Solomon was one of the best men that ever lived in the eyes of God. So I don't know. I'm just saying. I think maybe he definitely went down the wrong path, but I think his intentions were probably similar to ours in the beginning. So don't turn into Aleister Crowley, Greg.
Okay. But not to change the subject, but I got a question for Danny. Besides, I know you said what happened to you at Tri-County, Danny, but what was your most unique or bizarre paranormal experience?
My most bizarre paranormal experience, and the crazy thing about it is I had to watch it after or listen to it after the fact because I was not aware that it even happened. But it was a private investigation. Middle of a town or middle of the city, would never ever, I mean, most people who think about the paranormal, they're thinking about creepy old historical places. Now, I don't
Right.
know what took place on this land previously, but it was in a trailer park, and it was a nasty one because it involved a child and a unmarried mother that were having issues in a brand new trailer that literally she spent her life savings to move into. Um, so there was nowhere for her to go. And throughout the course of the investigation, we collected some EVP evidence and stuff and heard about some previous tenant that had lived there that was pretty nasty. I mean, pretty bad, really bad. But through the course of the investigation, I'm not one to provoke. We don't. PTF does not provoke at private investigations. It's not a good idea to poke the bear and then leave somebody there to suffer the consequences. So we just don't do it. We try to collect evidence, give our best assessment of what's going on, and put them in contact with somebody who can hopefully help them through whatever they're going through, paranormal or not. Well, this particular one, right in the middle of the investigation with some investigators present, I stood up and started provoking, started cussing, um, was yelling, and literally stomped out to where one of the investigators, she came out to check on me and she's like, "Man, are you all right? What's up?" And I was sitting out there and I'm like, "Yeah, we just came outside I didn't even smoke. But I said, we came out for a break to smoke. Why, what's up?" And she's like, "No, what just went on in there? That wasn't,
Wow.
I've never seen you like that." And I'm like, "What do you mean?" Well, we were running audio and my recorder happened to still be inside. She went in and got my recorder and brought it out and she played it back. And yeah, I had lost probably 2 to 3 minutes of the investigation. I didn't remember any of it. I didn't remember doing anything like that. And then it really hit me out there. I'm like, if something can do this, what else is it capable of doing? You know, 3 minutes
Sure.
is a very long amount of time in a blink of an eye to where anything could happen. So it was very concerning to me, and that was probably my life changing and my craziest thing that happened because I don't remember any of it.
So that's the answer to David Libby's question, sort of. But first, I just wanted to put this up that apparently Jay Fortune saw balls at Tri-County.
Uh-oh. Saw balls. Jay, what color were they?
Sorry.
Balls of light. There we go.
Oh, my bad. Sorry, I didn't see that part. That makes much more sense. We had so many questions. All right, moving right along. Then Jay also said, oh, he's talking to the camera right there. Jay says, isn't using a Ouija board and doing EVPs the same thing, basically? It is not doing the same thing, but you are invoking. Essentially, you are doing the same thing, but you're not doing it the same way, in my opinion.
In my opinion, it's only the same like if you're doing EVPs and you're holding the recorder in your hand. If you set the recorder down on the table, then that's not the same. The energy is not going to come through you to get to the recorder.
I disagree. And here's why. Because I don't think it's the recorder or you touching the recorder that is the catalyst. I think that your intention to communicate is where it starts. And that's where you seal the deal right there. At that point, you are communicating. You're attempting to communicate, whether you set the recorder down or you hold it, or you're using passive equipment somehow like a REM pod. You are setting up a scenario in which you are hoping to communicate with unseen entities.
Right, you're setting up a scenario. So we're going to agree to disagree on this. Sure. Because my theory is if you're touching the object like in a Ouija board planchette or the recorder, you're holding it in your hand, you're inviting whatever you're communicating with to possibly enter your body and use your energy or manipulate it before it goes to that object.
I think that adds to the your involvement, but essentially at base level, you have already entered into your intent to communicate. But when you do,
I'll settle the argument.
Right.
They're both invitation. I mean, basically what you're both saying here that I'm listening to, they're both invitation.
Yeah, it is.
And it's invitation, the actual act of inviting, is probably the dangerous part.
But it's unavoidable.
It is unavoidable.
The first step in a possession.
Yeah, and the invitation can be, and I've thought of this many times. The invitation can be done with any piece of equipment.
I thought that conditioning is conditioning not like the first stage, like grooming.
I've always learned that the invitation part was the first stage.
Sure,
a typical possession.
By the book, but in reality, wouldn't it groom you first to even accept the invitation?
I think that would, to me, that would fall into like the oppression stage, the breaking down, the conditioning, to seeing if you're even a vessel that's worthy. I mean, that's just my thought. But without an invitation, I don't think that it could even, in my opinion, could even groom, could even manipulate you without invitation. And I hope that's the case, because that's my mind.
That's an interesting debate that you could have on the steps of demonic oppression or possession, all the steps that lead up to it. That'd be, because I mean, it's not really debatable, but I guess that it's debatable as if there's more to it than just that, or if those basic steps are meant to cover the other stuff also. It would be cool. We should have a priest on one day.
My thoughts exactly.
Yeah. We should do that. And because I'm interested in knowing, but you know, that is just that would be a Catholic priest. And I'm just going to assume that demons operate within your belief system. And that's probably the only way I can really explain that. Like, you know, they just operate based on what you believe. And maybe you're affected by, but like Catholics and Protestants, right? It's the same book, same stories and everything, but I believe, and I'm not even familiar with Catholicism that much. I never even seen a Catholic until I moved to Missouri. In South Carolina, everybody is Southern Baptist, Church of God, you know, whatever. But you know, so but it's all very interesting to me to see how, you know, the different denominations of Protestants, you know, look at demonic possession and then exorcism, and then they look at all that stuff differently, and as do the Catholics. And you know, but Catholics, I guess they've been doing it so much over the years, they've developed like a SOP for it. Like, oh, that's SOP, that's going to be regulation, and yeah, a class, OSHA comes out and everything. But yeah, it's interesting to me. And then you have demonologists who, and I don't know, can a demonologist, somebody who just, you know, has been ordained or whatever, like I guess, can they exorcise demons? Like, didn't Ed Warren exorcise demons or claim to? I don't know. Is that true? Or did he get a priest to come out and do it? I don't know.
I don't know.
But a demonologist, I feel like people have different ideas of what that means.
There's very few demonologists. Well, at least in what I know, there's very few demonologists actually ordained by the Catholic Church. I mean,
right,
there are
Catholic.
A couple that actually train with priests, but it's not like everyone nowadays calling themselves they're self-proclaimed. I mean, it's one of those things.
Yeah, well, and again, it probably comes down to like your belief, your faith, right? Like a priest doesn't exorcise demons. God does it through his faith, and that's how that works. So I don't think that you have to be a Catholic priest to perform an exorcism, but you do have to be a true, like a real legit faithful person in whatever your religion is, or whatever denomination you're a part of. But you know, every culture has demonic possession in it in some form or another. Here we are talking about demons.
Here we are. Yeah.
Yeah,
we're a little early. Jay Fortune says exactly. Oh, wait. James Brady says, do you believe you can open a portal with a Ouija board? I think you can open a portal with lots of different ways. Like, what about y'all? What do y'all think, Danny? Greg? I'll let y'all give y'all's thoughts first.
I think it's possible with a Ouija board, and it could actually be possible with your mind if if you're focusing and you're doing the same type of thing.
Yeah,
meditation.
Any contact, I really think. I mean, if you're legit trying to contact something out there, in my opinion, you could open a portal. I mean, and then there's portals.
But you're not going to get like a ghost through a portal. You're going to get something else.
Yeah.
Right. Because I don't think like the spirits of humans that have passed away, the only ones that are hanging out, like trying to like, and they have enough ability to communicate with you. And they're trying to, and it's intelligent two-way communication, or they're moving things or slamming things. That is probably not a human. And if it is, it's something that has realized what it's capable of in its current situation, right? So I hate to reference the movie Ghost, Patrick Swayze, but like when you realize, or even The Matrix, right? When he realizes he's the one and he understands what he's truly capable of, maybe that's how, some people who have a certain type of personality may end up enjoying that power, and they may want to stay. And like things like that could move through a portal in I guess in a way, or it could just be wherever, whenever it wants to be.
Honestly, do we know enough about it? Just to elaborate on that, do we know enough about it? Are we the ones opening?
Really,
are we the ones opening a portal? Is it not these entities going from one to another that's opening them?
Is our consciousness the portal?
Yeah,
could be.
Yeah, just never know.
I mean, intention could open a portal. Intention's powerful, right? Intention's almost is similar to faith and has the same power potentially.
Yeah, for sure.
But a portal, when I think of something like a portal opening, it ain't ghosts coming through. It's you call it what you want, interdimensional entities. I'll call it that, because I'm not going to sit here and say I know what these things are that I talk to. Even when I'm using a spirit box, it seems like I'm having two-way conversation with something, and it's intelligently answering super specific questions. Like, was it already there, or did I bring it there? And if I brought it there, then maybe my intention to communicate my necromancy opened the portal and made like a beacon or something. I don't know. I don't know the mechanics of it. Maybe I'll find out one day.
Do you ever experience with your ITC and your spirit boxes? Do you get things coming back through them in multiple locations that sound or relate to the same thing?
Yeah.
If that makes sense. Yeah. Like the same, do you believe you've contacted the same entity in multiple places?
Yeah. Yeah, I do. And see, so the ITC world became a little bit of I don't want to say a cult. I want to say there was a belief system that kind of developed in the early ITC field, right? And it was mainly Frank Sumption came up with this whole kind of like a hierarchy, or not like a operating chart, how it operates. And when you communicate, you have somebody on the other side that will be your operator, right? And their job, if you can tune into them, is to facilitate you in communicating with who you want to communicate with. So that could be the reason why a lot of people get the same thing, or same person, or same voice, or it seems like that at different locations. It could also be something following you around, an attachment.
Sure.
And again, we're all dealing with the unknown, and there's never going to be a definite answer.
It's just my opinion, and I try to keep my opinions. I try not to include details, right? Like, I'm not going to try to be super specific, because I can't be, and I'm not going to pull anybody's chain by trying to have you believe that I know all the answers, and I don't. I don't know what I'm talking to on the other side. I don't know if I'm not, then it's some sort of phenomenon that, anyway, regardless, that has to do with our subconscious. Maybe I'm communicating with my own subconscious. Maybe similar to how studies have shown that people could be communicating with their subconscious when they use Ouija boards. So,
Yeah.
It is what it is. But, the idea with ITC is just to kind of, if you have to put a foot in, right? You have to put a little bit of skin in it and put just a little bit of belief in that you're talking to something. And because I found that it's not very, you're not going to get anything of substance if you don't try. It's almost, it's like a weird metaphysical type situation. Actually, it's a lot of people make it very cold and just like, I'm going to turn on my ghost box and sit it right here and talk to it. It's like, you got to get in the right mindset. And like I said, you got to put kind of a foot of belief in the door, and it'll lead you places. And then you'll find out things about the location you didn't know. Or, I mean, it's great. I've had a lot of interesting conclusions that, checked out, and I got it all from a ghost box.
Sounds a little faith-based in a way.
Yeah,
it really does.
It could very well be that Jesus Christ is giving me the power to help others understand their mortality. I don't know.
Yeah. Not an analogy to necessary Christianity, but
Well,
I'm saying when you're using these things.
I'm serious. So, like, if that could very well be the case. King Solomon, he summoned demons by the power of God, right? There's lots of references where people were godly, they were Christians, or they believed in the Abrahamic God, and they were able to communicate and do stuff. So who knows? I think anything great that I do isn't by me. It's from God. And I think what I do is a calling. It's not evil. It's not any of that. It's a calling. Not everybody's meant to look at the other side.
For sure.
But if you feel like you are, then maybe you are. Now, Protestants, Jews have their own exorcists, and that's why I was saying it's faith-based, right? Yeah. It's just like, like you're not going to get rid of something out of somebody that person has to also believe that you can do what you said. You can get rid of that demon in them, right? And that's partially why it's specific faith-based, right? Anyway. I think portals were open before I bought my house. Yep. Kim Levy, you got portals all up in your house. Julie Couch, good point. Kim Levy, interesting. James Brady, we get more responses with a lighthearted approach. Humor is a great trigger sometimes. Hammering away with dry questions is boring and off-putting sometimes. Yeah, it is. It is. It is. Agreed. What do y'all think about that? What kind of conversations do y'all like to have? Greg and Danny. Hey, James.
Well, I try to keep everything light.
I don't.
Not so, Katie.
Well, I mean, Danny, you do always keep everything light, though. I never really see you like getting evil, evil stuff messing with you. I don't know. Maybe you do. I'm always getting messed up shit coming at me.
Yeah, I don't.
Tell me about Antichrist and shit.
Yeah, I don't draw those responses all the time. But
Jay Fortune, Kim Libby says she found the man who. Oh, never mind. That's a lot. A strange thing happened when you lived there. Oh, so your house has always had portals in it. Interesting. Yeah. So not everything's demons. I think the things that are being mean to you are probably either demons or demonic. They have some sort of power granted to them by something demonic. Not necessarily like Pazuzu, Antichrist, I'm going to possess your kids, but I think demons could do a lot. And I think they do. Historically, they have. I mean, back in the day, like a lot of cultures, a ghost is more like a zombie.
Yeah.
True. Yeah.
Greg, are you froze? Oh, you froze up for a second. Yeah,
No,
I think
I
a lot of cultures.
I did.
Yeah, you did. You fell asleep. I was like, "You okay, bud?" Yeah, I think it depends on the time. The idea of what a ghost is has changed. A lot over since civilization started in every different culture, and they all have their idea of it. And a lot of Asian cultures, they believe that it's ancestral mostly, right? Like if something's haunting you, it's probably one of your ancestors.
Unless it's the jinn.
Well,
that would be jinn. That jinn is basically just a demon, though.
Right.
Yeah, I mean,
honestly, I think we're all investigating different things. It's all energy. But a lot of the time, it's residual. A lot of times, even though we don't deem it paranormal, it still may be a type of energy. But very rarely, I think people are actually getting interactive investigations.
Right. Yeah, that it's not in the sense that they're not there with a purpose.
For sure.
It's almost like what your intention is, and how ambitious you are. Shit, what's a good way to put it? How committed you are to doing whatever you're doing. That's the level of involvement you'll get.
Yeah. And I think what you put in is what you get out.
That's kind of what I'm saying. Yeah,
we can go in on the same investigation, me and Katie or me and Greg, but the style that you investigate and what you use, you're going to get more interactive than I am. I mean, that's just the nature of the game.
Yeah.
I'm not going to get a lot of interactive.
Well, there's nothing wrong with that either, because that's like, you have to have different people doing different things, right? Because if we all did the same shit all the time, then it would just be ghost adventures.
Well, that's the whole point. Sorry, Greg, didn't mean to cut you off.
No, y'all go ahead.
Okay. That's the point. That's why I love PTF so much, because we're diversified.
Yeah.
Different people have different techniques. We all experience different things, but we do it at the same time in the same location, and that's pretty special.
Yeah. And we have a different way of interpreting evidence as well. Like, not all of us are good. We're not always going to be in total agreement on what things are. And that's fine. That's actually good. You want that. You want like a diversity of thought, of interpretation. Because if we all just thought the same thing, all just believe the same dogma of those kind of standards, then it would be just the same old. Speaking of bringing on different people that do different things to PTF, we haven't had anybody on that was like a intuitive, it's in tarot cards, the metaphysical stuff, in a while. I know you guys have had in the past people on the team like that.
Right.
Yeah, we're actually going to bring in a new one, and her name is Julie Couch, and I have recruited her to become part of PTF because I've known her for a very long time, and she is very into the metaphysical side. And I couldn't think of a better metaphysical, like she's like a wealth of knowledge when it comes to like magic and all this different type of stuff. And you got to have that as an element. I think it's important to have all kind of approaches to a situation or a haunting.
And especially in private cases, it's good to have that very diverse field to help the client.
Right. Yeah. Because I'm gonna be like kind of like, that's why I don't do private cases that often, is because I'm not like counselor material. I'm tough love dad. I'm like, you snap out of it right now. You need to go outside and take a walk. You'll feel better. You're not possessed. Or I'll come in with my ghost box, and it's, I don't know, but there's a lot of people that believe that, and I do have some belief in some metaphysical beliefs, because they're kind of run parallel to electronics, and I found that to be fascinating. That there's kind of, I don't know, I like to include like sacred geometry and stuff into my electronic circuits. So I'm probably creating portals when I do that. But yeah, Julie's going to be cool, and we're going to formally announce her on the page here soon. But anyway, Julie's dope, and we'll see her at the Potosi. Right, Julie?
Yep.
Coming down to Potosi. And there's the Long Bantha house. That's where the Ouija board is. General store. That's the church, or it's like a town hall, sort of.
Well, it's actually the oldest Presbyterian church still standing this side of Mississippi.
They used it for a little bit of everything now, I do believe.
Right.
Julie understands dolls. She is very into dolls.
Can you guys hear me okay? I keep hearing myself echo.
Yeah, I got a bad echo going on too.
And Danny too.
It might be my mic setup, because my daughter, her computer is messed up. So she come down here and like set all her crap up. I'm like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
You have just changed everything. So it's probably my mic.
Oh, okay. Well, I got the Potosi thing up. We still have some tickets available on Eventbrite.
Cool. So make sure y'all get them tickets.
Paranormal Task Force.eventbrite.com.
Yeah, cemetery's cool. Julie, you're gonna like it. And Chris, you bring Chris. Chris is her husband. She's bringing him with her.
Great place.
Oh,
Good
yeah.
people.
And tomorrow night, so Julie's going to come out tomorrow night for the Kansas investigation that we're going to keep.
Yep,
on the DL. That's a DL. That's a down low investigation right this second. We want to make some material and put it out. We want it to be a surprise. We don't want to just give all of our secrets away. We don't want spoilers.
No spoilers.
Jay Fortune says I hear reverb. Yeah, it's probably my mic. So, everybody, let's plug stuff. Greg, are you done plugging stuff?
Yeah, because I'm echoing too much. It's hard for me to talk.
Has it been that way the whole time?
No,
just
just
got
here
worse.
recently.
Oh, then it's not me then.
It's like we're on a delay.
Yeah, that's what it sounds like.
About now. I don't know what these knobs do.
Testing.
Oh, okay. No, this is a headset.
Testing. I still got my echo.
I don't hear an echo.
Yeah, you're not echoing.
Oh.
I'm about
It's got to be
3 seconds behind.
It could be through the StreamYard thing somehow.
It might be. It might be. Well, I'm going to plug some stuff here in just a second. Greg, Danny, you got anything else you want to conclude with? We're down to our last couple minutes here.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, dude. Thank you for coming on and spending an hour and a half with me and Greg.
Absolutely.
And Danny, you'll be in Potosi as well, right?
Yes. Yeah, that's the plan.
I'm hearing it lightly. I heard you say that's the plan again after you said that.
So those that come to Potosi not plugging, you got KB there, you got Danny there. And yeah, this echoing is driving me crazy.
My laugh. That's
Mute
great.
your microphone when you're not talking. See if that helps. Like on the screen, just click on the little mic on your.
Let me see.
Oh my God, stupid Facebook. Just gotta send me a text message so I can log into Facebook. Jeez.
Didn't work for me.
Well, if anybody's interested in purchasing any of my necromancer equipment, any ghost boxes or anything like that, you can find us on all the socials under Supernatural Inc. with a K. We're on Facebook, Supernatural Inc., YouTube. This is actually streaming on Paranormal Task Force on Facebook page and on the Supernatural Inc. Paranormal Network on YouTube, as well as the Supernatural Inc. Paranormal Technology page, our channel on YouTube. So whether you watched it on Facebook or not, go over there on YouTube and like, share, and subscribe, because we need more subscribers, y'all. We need them. Let me see here. I'm going to try and pull up Supernatural Inc.'s page here real quick. Show you some of the stuff we got on there. It's like goddamn trying to get a bill signed in Congress to get on Facebook. All right, come on. Videos. Okay. Let's see. I'm going to look for, okay, so we'll watch a real quick little ITC video. Shoot. All right, let me share that up here to the screen. Gosh darn it. Now this was at Pythian in the steam tunnel. So here, daggone it. Why is it doing this to me? There we go. Okay. Let me get this off here. All right.
Nicholas? I heard.
Nicholas.
And there was something else I can do the last name. Tell us Mr. Booth's real name. Nicholas.
Okay, so
I heard
dadgummit. My daughter posted a video.
something else I can do last night. We're gonna explore the outside of the
Okay,
Anderson
so we'll
house at
change.
the Battle of Lexington Civil War.
And we're gonna share this other one. Since y'all like ITC so much, share. All right, here we go. Oh, that doesn't look good at all, does it? Let's do this. There we go.
State Historic Site. This is the Anderson House. So this
I
was
didn't realize I got all these responses. I actually got my daughter edited this.
things. Was originally built for this dude built it for his family. They only lived there 6 years. His name was Anderson. That's why it's called the Anderson House. Civil War battle happened here. Was it whatever 18, 16? So I forgot. I mean the whole. I'm pretty sure it started. Charge the house.
Have y'all ever been there?
Colonel James A.
No.
On that one. That's that good golf joke.
She put the last track in there.
But it, just your standard. We'll walk around to the historic place. I brought this spot. Here
Put
one
that
time.
sound in there. Bring.
It's been years ago, and I took a cool picture. This glass, a lot of it is original, and it's all wavy, you know, how glass does as it ages.
It's a cool place that we
And,
should go check
I
out.
took a picture of to me, it looked like a dude with a hat.
Yeah.
That's all I can.
I'm trying to find that picture
Posted it
too.
on our
Wow.
Facebook page. This is the inside of the house.
Now I started using a ghost box right here, and I just could not believe.
There spirits here that have some that may have died here during the war. They died. Who died? Who died? Who was it? Right here, I'm just touching the antenna port on it.
I'm using it as a channeling device.
Using the antenna to get less radio. So hopefully we get more.
Now I got a demon in me.
And less straight radio station. So I ask a question and I'll touch it. What's your name? What's your name?
That was a pretty clear. That was a pretty like.
That
was Queen.
Speed is based on the EMF field. So the EMF field spike, we'll call it the speed to do weird fluctuations, which is what I wanted. The battery is very weak. That's why I was saying this.
Yeah, she gets evil.
Can you tell us your name? There's a lot of radio here for some reason. I'm not even going to not touching it. Did you die here?
Probably that was pretty good.
Saying Probably.
Now, Lexi said that when she put that caption up, she didn't put that caption up. Like the caption, closed caption generator heard that. So that's kind of like the way I've been doing ITC with the reverse audio box and the speech to text, which I'm going to be doing a lot of. So y'all see more of it in Potosi, and that just blows my mind.
I'm gonna shut it down. Are there stories here?
In the cellar, I heard it.
So in the cellar? I heard in the cellar.
I actually heard it with my own ears. I think I heard it more clearly, in person than we actually got on the video.
Oh, I don't know if I said that again, but I heard in the cellar. What's in the cellar? You said it's in the cellar.
I can't say, dude. What the freaking crap, right? That's the stuff that gets me excited, about a situation is when you get just intelligent two-way communication, like answering a question.
Yeah, that was a damn good session. Good session.
Yeah, man. Yeah. And there's like one or two more bangers. It ain't much longer.
This is like the battlefield, right? Is it okay if I'm out here? Does it make you mad if I'm out here?
Said nobody.
Why don't you want me here?
I just heard friendly right there.
Do you not like me?
You're quirky. It either said you're quirky or you're crazy. One of the two. Let them go. That's a crazy response to get. Let them go like something's being kept there, And the quick response on in the cellar, and when I was next to the cellar, that's just, man.
Let them go. I just heard it say let them go. That's pretty crazy. So I guess that was a big battle here, I guess, right? Dude, me and Charlotte in this house, I guess they're using it as a film hospital. It's a no-no, right? That's like a war crime. I don't know.
It is.
There's a lot of cool stuff you can do out here, for sure.
Okay, so anyway, that was a cool little. I call that a KD lunch break ghost hunt. So yeah, we had a place down the street, had video games.
You just take one of your devices with you when you go to the grocery store and walk through.
No, actually, we right down the street from the Anderson house there, the Battle of Lexington site. We have a customer that has games, and so she's into the paranormal, and she bought a microcom from me, and we actually investigated the part of the Wentworth Military Academy that they rent out, and so that was pretty cool. And but yeah, I just went and borrowed her box. I have like somebody in every town that owns one of my boxes. I just pop up at their house and be like, "Hey, bro, look, can I borrow your box for like a day or two?" Like, I don't actually own any of my own ghost boxes anymore. So if I show up at any of y'all's house just at like 2 a.m, I just need a ghost box. All right, y'all. Well, that's my ghost boxes. That's what I do. If you're interested in buying one, you can find me anywhere on Supernatural Inc. Need to go to PTF's Facebook page and order tickets for Potosi if you ain't got them already. And we're all going to be there. All three of these people's on the screen. And, if you do go to Potosi, like the one thing there that is really dangerous and, like so many people have like had a terrible experience, like ghost experience. The one thing you don't want to do in Potosi, if you don't want to